Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman Battle Network 6. In the last part, we got a race cross. I'm not going to show it off until later, but now we're going to go after the final cross of the game, back in Aquarium 2, this area to be more specific. You must be here to take my clash right. Once clash has begun, you can't quit suddenly, and you must stay here until clash ends. Understood? Let's get this started, Connery. Now then, let's begin our clash. Today you'll be working by my railroad company. Railroads? But I can't drive a train. It's alright, little guy. The railroad I'm talking about is on the net. You'll be operating my Navi, Chargeman. Now if you just step over to the vending machine... Okay. Well, at least he's very blunt about it, not many dialogue boxes with him. I'm Chargeman. Here's to working together. Yeah, it's good to work with you too. Time to get the old engine warmed up. Our first stop is the cyber station Undernet 2. Undernet 2, huh? Okay, let's head over there. Luckily, this place empties out right into Undernet 2. And I consider getting the virus battles for him out of the way now, but I'll do that later. Now, the thing is, the gimmick with him is that you have to make some people ride a train. We'll be departing shortly. You ready? We'll be departing shortly. Please do not rush onto the train. Now departed. Full speed ahead. Let's have Chargeman explain this. Okay, before we depart, let me explain a few things. Drive well and try not to get any customer complaints. Make sure to pick up passengers that are waiting. If you mess up, they will complain. Also, make sure to avoid the obstacles on the tracks. If the cars start to shake too badly, the riders will get mad. If you can't avoid an obstacle, hold down the A button to charge up and smash through, crazy locomotive style. Anyway, avoid getting passengers mad, okay? Okay, full speed ahead. And what he means by that is that there are various obstacles that you have to do. There's rocks, and there's also Metar viruses. You just hold down the A button to do that. And you need to pick up every Mr. Program along the way, otherwise you will get a complaint. You have 4 chances at complaints, but as you can see underneath the custom bar. In fact, the custom bar shows your progress through the stage. Also, I know this song is in somewhere between... Where's this song from? I know it's in this or 5, I forget which one. I know I've heard it somewhere, though, and I probably commented on it earlier in the game, or 5, but I can't recall which. Or at least it's a shortened version of some other song. Either way, very simple gimmick. In fact, I actually kind of liked it. I wish there was more minigames like this in the game. But from here on, it's all going to be fairly simple stuff. So, during the next 2, I'm actually going to be going over the crosses and beasts out, and cross beasts that are in Cybeast Falls are instead. Okay, we arrived. Sky area, sky area. Please remember to take everything with you. Okay, this area pisses me off. Why? Similar to every other LinkNavi in the game, Chargeman can take care of certain obstacles, like the fire. Heatman can do the same. And this thing down here is a double point. I forget what that does in this game, but in the Japanese version, I know for a fact that this is Django EX. And I love the Django chips, and the fact that they edited it out in this one just pisses me off to no end. Though Boktai 3 was kind of meh in comparison to 1 and 2, but it was still decent. And anyway, as for Chargeman in battle, he's Heat Elemental, so Aqua Element is bad for him. His special thing is Volcano Charge, which makes him charge across the screen, firing various little balls of electricity fire at your enemies. Or at least that's what it does in the battle with him, otherwise it's just random that. And his charge is in fact Locomotive Charge, where he dashes across the screen invincibly and can actually do multiple hits upon enemies if the enemy is moving correctly. Not that useful, in fact. I think he's worse than Eraseman in battle. But yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, now I'm going to go over the Cybeast Falls crosses that you would get. Instead of getting a race cross, you would get ground cross. Ground cross is braking element, which means weak to cursor type attacks. Non-dimming braking attacks, chips gain 10 attack. And using non-dimming braking chips will also cause rock strain on the enemy. You have super armor, so you won't flinch with anything, and your charge shot is drill arm, where Megaman disappears into a hole, then resurfaces as close to the nearest enemy as possible, hitting 2 panels ahead up to 3 times for 10 times your buster rank plus 10 braking damage. Enemies hit or push backwards and continue to take hits if they cannot move further. However, this may not hit if the panel is occupied or is a hole. Well, that was weird. I saw the audio stuff pause there, huh? And instead of ChargeCross, which we're obviously going to get here, you get Dust Cross. Dust Cross is also Break Elemental, its weakness is still Cursor. Pressing B and left simultaneously will remove all obstacles. They can then be fired using the regular buster, dealing 200 damage. Really good, actually. Selected chips can be recycled into your folder with new chips drawn in their place. This is a variation on the chip shuffling from the previous transformations like Search Soul. In fact, it's my favorite thing about Cybeast Falzar is this damn thing. And your charge shot becomes Scrap Reborn, which fires a scrap robot that travels down the road to the closest enemy, which punches the panel for 10 times your buster rank plus 50 breaking damage, and will break the panel if it hits. It will hit the panel at the end of the row if no enemy is found. And as for their cross beasts, Ground Beast's chip charge attack becomes Drill Drive, which hits all enemies down the road twice for 110 breaking damage, each increasing by 20 damage for each increase in buster rank. And you're invincible during the attack's duration. And Dust Beast's chip charge attack becomes Dust Shoot, which hits 6 random panels in front of you. At least I think that's restricted to your row at least, for 100 breaking damage each, increasing by 20 damage for each increase in buster rank. It cracks any panel it hits, and Megaman is in the air when executing this attack, so he cannot be hit at all. And that still only got me into the third damn sequence. Wow. I do have to say, I really like the animations Chargeman has. And his only appearance in the manga was as a bit of a program advance in a weird little one-shot at the end of one of them. That had to do with one of the Giga chips in this game, actually, Bug Riser. Oh, and by the way, this one you need to charge for these last 2 rocks. That's a noob trap, essentially. Because there's no way you're gonna know that's there on your first playthrough. Great driving. We got to the final stop without a hitch. Jock Chargeman outline. Next comes the final test. Okay. Gee, I wonder what it's going to be. Obviously, it's going to be a game of poker. The final test is a screaming battle with Chargeman. There's no stopping this one. Are you ready? Chargeman, full speed ahead. All aboard! We won't let up either. Battle routine set. Execute. Chargeman, as I mentioned earlier, is heat elemental, so he is weak to aqua. Attack-wise, he is actually fairly interesting, because he's always moving during the fight. Unless you hit him with over 100 damage, or something that can stun him, where he'll reset to the center panel of his field. He has his volcano thing there, which is the same as his normal chip. He can summon 2 little cards to follow in the other panels behind him, and then he can kind of do this weird invincible dash using those together. He's actually the easiest boss out of all of them, in my opinion. However, due to the fact he's constantly moving, he can be kind of troublesome to hit with SlashCross, if you're me. Because, you know, I love abusing this damn thing. It's so good! I don't know why I didn't move there. Okay. And I think when he does that invincible dash, he actually does warp to whatever row you're on. But yeah, pretty interesting and easy boss. I kind of wish the LinkNavis got their own boss music, I'm not gonna lie. Not that I'm complaining, because I absolutely love this track, but I'm always a guy who likes multiple boss themes. It's one of my favorite parts about things like Final Fantasy, where they have epic boss themes, like for Atmo Weapon in 6, the Genova fights in 7. Need I even bring up Maybe I'm a Lion from 8? Whoa, that's an audio desync causer. That would explain where that came from. Well, either what I'm about to show off here, the audio is desync, so you can't really tell unless I fix it before now, is a beast over. Aside from looking like Omegasys in his profile thing, he gets this really badass looking animation and is completely uncontrollable. However, chips deal double damage. So it's pretty good. And you get Chargeman's chip, which is kind of useless in my opinion. You've learned to operate your Navi well. I have nothing left to teach you. You may have Chargeman as one of your LinkNavis. Chargeman's strength is stored in the ChargeCross. I believe in your capable hands. You will become good enough that I will want to hire you for my railroad someday. If you ever want to hear the chug-a-chug of an engine, you'll always be welcome here. We'll be waiting. Okay, thanks. So let's go show off those crosses, shall we? Starting off with Eraseman. Eraseman is cursor elemental, so it's weak to wind. Cursor chips gain 30 attack, and hitting viruses with a 4 in their HP with a non-dimming elementless chip will instantly delete them regardless of power. And doing the same with a Navi will give them an HP bug. Your charge shot is Killer Death Beam, which hits the entire row in front of you for 20 times your buster rank plus 40 cursor damage. Purse is invisible and can hit enemies consecutively, and it's arguably the fastest buster. And Erase Beast's chip charge attack becomes Killer Tail Arrow. hitting the locked on enemy for 100 cursor damage, increasing by 30 damage for each increase in Buster rank. It will also induce HP bugs on the target if they survive it, regardless of what their HP is. I actually really like this cross, I'm not gonna lie. And as for ChargeCross, ChargeCross is heat elemental, so it's weak to aqua type chips. Non-dumping fire chips can be gradually charged up to 100 for up to a 100 attack boost. Your custom capacity on the custom screen will actually expand by 1 after each turn using this cross, so that's pretty much the equivalent to a chip plus 1 on the custom screen from the old games. And your charge shot becomes Charge Tackle, or Megaman turns invincible and charges down the 3 panels ahead of him, hitting the closest enemy for 20 times your Buster rank plus 30 fire and breaking damage. This charge shot can also be used to avoid attacks. And as for the final chip charge attack, that is Charge Bite, which stuns all enemies before dealing 100 fire damage to the locked-on enemy, increasing by 30 damage for each increase in Buster rank. This is actually incredibly useful. ChargeCross, in terms of use, is actually one of my favorites in the game. SlashBeast still beats it out, but Slash overall is just my favorite. And now it's time to progress on in the story after a lot of explaining. We're heading back to ACDC Town, people. I can't wait to see its new map. I mean, they totally made a new one for this, right? What? They used the same one from 5? Okay. Well, actually, I really like the 5 setup, so yeah. Lan rode the love bus to ACDC Town. A few hours later, in ACDC Town. Hey, I recognize that old bald head.
Lan's late. What's he doing, anyway?
Looks like his trademark lateness hasn't changed. Well, he can't help it. It's really far between ACDC Town and Cyber City. He'll be here. Ah!
Sup, bitches?
Hey, everyone.
Whoa, look, Lan!
Hey, Lan! Welcome back, Lan.
Dex, Yai, Melu. It's good to be back. It's kind of embarrassing. We talked about all sorts of things after that. About Cyber City, my new school and friends, things that happened after I left, and of course ACDC school. We had so much to talk about that time just flew by without us realizing it. And this guy Mick, he's just like Dex.
Then he's gotta be a strong net battler.
Well, not really.
There are people like Dex no matter where you go. Hey, Lan, why don't you take a walk around town? I'm sure people would love to say hi to you.
Oh yeah, okay. You just have to talk to all the non-important NPCs here. There's also a 10-chip trader there if you want to check that out. However, I want to mention 2 things. One, if you check Dex's door, as I will in a moment, you can get an HP memory. And second, this is my favorite mix of the ACDC theme in the entire series. I love this song so much. And yeah. It's kind of weird to be back here, honestly. After you get so used to Cyber City after this long, you're like, hey, I'm back home. Let's see, can you still jack into the freaking doghouse? Come on. Yeah, they left that intact. You know, it's really weird. This is such a good way to reuse data from a previous game. It's actually really cool. And, whoa, HP plus 300. That's actually one of my favorite Navicus programs in the game. It's a blue Navicus, so I can't use it with my current setup, but it's only a 2x2 blue, which is really good. It's patterned, though, so you can't put it on the command line. I'll probably be reorganizing my Navicus at one point before the end of the game, but eh. You know, that freaking audio desync is really bothering me. I can't wait to fix that. Oh boy. And for all you guys, it might already be fixed. I can't believe people remember me. I'm really touched.
Well, of course they do. I mean, Megaman shows up on TV every day, and when people see that commercial, they are supposed to think of you. And by supposed to, I mean dragged, kicking, and screaming.
Hey, speaking of Megaman, let's go in the net like we used to.
Yeah, sounds good. Ron wants to see Megaman too.
Alright then, let's meet in front of the ducks in the ACDC area.
You still remember how to get to ACDC area, right? You can jack into the Squirrel King statue in the park.
I remember.
A road linking ACDC area directly to Cyber City's net was finished recently. Why don't you check it out sometime?
Yeah, I will. Okay, let's meet by the ducks in the ACDC area. In case you're wondering where that is in Central Area, it's actually right underneath the Path to Sky area. In fact, when they call it Central Area, it really is Central Area. All the main other areas of the net connect to it. Except for the Undernet, which connects only to Sky Area, as far as I can recall. Except for maybe the overhead path in Central Area 2. I forget. It's been a while since I did the post-game for this. By the way, that purple mystery data there, as far as I can recall, is a variable sort. And that's a nice seed. Hey, roll! Roll!
It's been a long time, Megaman. You doing well?
Yeah.
But anyway, wasn't the meeting place supposed to be an ACDC area? What are you doing hanging out here? Well, I asked Mr. Program to run an errand for me, but he's really late. He hasn't come back yet. I thought maybe he got lost, so I was looking for him. I lost Mr. Program, huh? Okay, I'll help you look for him. Really? That would be a big help.
I gotta get stuck with all the side quests.
Anyway, welcome to ACDC area. That's right, area. There's only one area in this entire place.
It's kind of shafted, actually. I guess it's because Sky area only got 2, so yeah. I forget what's in that purple mystery data. I think it's an attack plus 30 asterisk. And the net merchant. HP memory, HP memory, HP memory, HP memory, HP memory. Fast gauge, fast gauge, fast gauge. Oh, I'm 20 short, really. That damn coffee. I'm going to be buying that off screen if you can't tell. Yeah, I've got to grind up some Zenny at some point because I just spent like 3/4 of it. Oh boy. And this place actually does have a new virus as far as I can recall. I don't think we've run into this guy yet. Trumpy, like in all the previous games, they will move a bit and then they'll do their fanfare, which will make any other enemy invincible. Mind you, they didn't last long enough to do that, so yeah. A lot of the enemies here are repeats, some Metar 3s, Shakers, and such. Nothing too new. And by the way, this is Meilu's homepage. Yeah, the homepages are now just restricted to slightly different colored areas of the net. And the BBSs are back. These are actually all over the place. I just haven't showed them off yet. There's some pretty interesting stuff to read on those, I'm not going to lie. That's a Mr. Program. This is the one that has Roll's package. However, someone put a gate here to block off central area. And someone's idea of a joke, which sounds familiar from the beginning of the game. Dex really is like Mick, isn't he? But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 24, we'll be getting the key for that area door so we can get that package to roll. See you guys then.